Hi everyone, I'm Celeste. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, I'm popping on today to do the BookTube Newbie Tag. I have 12 videos under my belt now, 12 vlogs, and so I figured it was high time I popped on and shared a little bit about who I am, why I started a BookTube channel last year in 2022, and some of my plans for 2023. And I'll be answering a few of the BookTube newbie questions as well. Okay, so my name is Celeste. My channel is called A Reader's Almanac with Celeste. And my original goal was to do a BookTube channel for one calendar year. Now, this coming August 2023, I'll revisit my plans and assess whether I want to continue with the channel or whether doing 1 year of these videos is enough for me. And I haven't really decided yet, but I am having a lot of fun doing them. Okay, I live in Western New York State, behind a small wool and dairy farm. I do love looking out past the backyard fence and seeing cows, goats, lots of sheep, and you've probably seen them featured in some of the beginnings of my videos. You know, additionally, there are chickens, there's a donkey, so I really love living near the farm. And yeah, I live here with my son. I attended the University of Toronto, and I also have a master's degree, a graduate degree from the University of Rochester. And for 29.5 years, I taught English language, literature, and communication. So for almost 30 years. And I taught everybody from migrant workers from Mexico, people from South America, people from all over France, Japanese people, Chinese people. I taught a professor from Mali in Africa. So just people from all over the place, all different walks of life, and that was really fascinating for me and exposed me to a lot of other culture and language and books from all over the world. So I really enjoyed that. Then after that, I worked at the public library as a librarian and clerk for 5.5 years, and I obtained grants to lead book discussions, and I moderated a lot of activities through the library. Let's see, what else? I also had the great pleasure 1 year of unofficially moderating the Wall Street Journal book club, and that was a great deal of fun. So I had asked if I could moderate a book discussion, and we had an online vote for what book we would read, and we had so much fun discussing it. So that was a real highlight for me. I've also interviewed a number of authors and people in the book publishing industry. You can read about that below. And I write. I'm a poet and nature writer. I've studied with a number of authors and poets. Again, see below. So I just love books. I love literature. And so starting the BookTube channel after I left the library position seemed like a natural, logical next step for me, an extension of my love of books and all bookish things. Okay, so I think actually, if I look here, I've answered number 1, which is why did you start this channel? What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I think because I'm an older booktuber, you know, I'm not doing the teen and young adult thing. I'm 60 years old, and you know, so I think I bring some age and experience and I don't know, maybe a different perspective in some ways than if I were a young booktuber or influencer. And What else? I'm also related to a person with special needs, and so when I'm reading, I'm always very conscious and aware of the way that people with special needs are depicted. I'm very interested in the history of special needs and disability rights and the language that we use. I'm a real activist against ableism, so that's sort of an edge, maybe, or an awareness that I bring to my reading and to my presentation of history and so forth. Just because it's kind of like a video diary of my reading. I think it's fun to think of leaving this as a sort of legacy for my son when I'm gone, a year of mom's videos and the books she read and the nature walks that she took and the crafts that she did and so forth. So that's my interest in this, and of course I want it to be interesting and entertaining and informative for you guys as viewers. But my main intent is just as an extension of my love of books and bookish things. So yeah, I'm not going to be an influencer or anything like that. I just really want to talk about books, like so many of you here. And I enjoy your videos as well very much, and you're a real inspiration for me. So, okay, so one of the things I did a few years back was I was the moderator of a group called the Wonderlings, and it was a virtual social media based book club. And we did not read novels. We read all short form literature. And so in terms of what I'm looking forward to, my plans for 2023, one of the things I'm super interested in is exploring more short form literature. So essays, poems, short stories. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that yet, but look for that coming soon. That's one of my goals for 2023, is to do short form literature, because there are just so many marvelous gems out there that often get overlooked in book discussions. We always focus on novels and nonfiction books, and so I really want to focus on some excellent, maybe thematically related short stories and so forth. So look for the Wonderlings in 2023. That'll be a new category of video on my channel. I think, boy, there are a lot of great booktubers out there, and so my goal is not to be an influencer. I will never have 1 billion subscribers. I will never be monetized, I don't imagine. I think I'm going to be in my little niche here of being a really small booktuber. Why do I love reading? For the obvious reasons that everyone loves reading. It's life affirming. It opens doors, both in terms of your knowledge and imagination. It opens up worlds that you may never have explored otherwise. Also the friends I'm making. You guys put out some great suggestions, and I'm already subscribing to about 20 people's channels and getting so many amazing suggestions that it almost becomes overload. I go crazy because there are so many books I want to read. But that's one of the main reasons I watch, is because you guys expose me to so many amazing books. What else? It opens you to different points of view. It's a cheap hobby that you can take almost anywhere. You can always find a good free book from the free shelf at the library. It prompted me to become a writer, and I become a better writer by reading. And I think you must be a consummate reader if you ever want to truly be a good writer. Yeah, so number 5, what book or series got you into reading? I read many, many children's books, and one of the ones that sticks out in my mind particularly, like my first book, chapter book maybe, was Tanglewood Tales by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and that is Greek mythology from a sort of Victorian perspective, maybe. And that's one of the first books that I first remember being super excited about. And also some nature tales. I remember one called The Adventures of Chatterer the Red Squirrel and The Adventures of Jimmy Skunk, and that kind of opened me up to nature stories. And also another vlog that I plan on doing in the near future is on the Scholastic Book Club. And so when I was little, it wasn't really done through school fairs. It was done through just by mail, really. There was the Arrow Book Club and the Scholastic Book Club, and Tab was another, the teen version of that. And that really formed my early reading interests that have stuck with me for my whole life. So mysteries and detective stories and ghost stories, adventure tales, and horse stories, because I used to ride horses when I was little. So yeah, they really had a huge impact in forming who I am as a reader today. So yeah. That's me. That's why I started the BookTube channel. That's my background. I've shared some plans with you for what I hope to achieve in 2023. We're going to take it up to August, and we'll see where we go from there. I plan on posting anywhere between once a week to twice a month. So you'll either hear from me weekly or maybe bi-weekly. I do work with my son full-time, and so I do these in my spare moments. But I absolutely have loved doing them. I'm loving meeting all of you. I'm hoping to put forth a tag or two of my own this year, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening. I'm glad you joined me today. I'd love to hear what your plans are for 2023, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.